Hello everyone and welcome back to Straight White Whale. My name is Darren Connoll and this is episode 37. Before we get into the madness, I also need to catch my breath because I just sped walked it. Is that even a word?
Power walk, is it?
Power walked. I'm so grateful that you're here. I feel like I've got a head injury that's just never been checked. Sped walked it from my flat to the studio and I'm absolutely burst. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new sponsor of the podcast and they're called Zen Den Glasgow. Now, I am a regular customer of the Zen Den. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to give Brothers in Arms and Back on Side a shout out. Brothers in Arms is a suicide prevention charity that me and Paul were at their gig over the weekend, a comedy fundraiser. It was amazing. Paul was doing the sound. It was very good because we're best pals now. We hang about with each other outside the studio.
Yep. We handies under the table. And tenants.
And Back on Side are a great mental health charity too, run by Libby, that I also use myself for stress and therapy and all that stuff. So if you go on Back on Side's website, you'll see that they've got numbers and links to like Alcoholics Anonymous, which I also use. The Samaritans, I've used them before. Damn, Bobby for Scotch Squad's pure fucked. No, I'm no fucked. I use multiple tools in life to make sure that this journey in this meat vessel to the light at the end of the tunnel is nice and smooth, Paul.
Nice.
So when I get to heaven, I'm no mangled like that to God. I'm fucked.
You're going to heaven?
Maybe. I like Doug Heaven. What's all these Labradors here for?
Imagine that.
He just hunters of golden Labradors. You're in heaven, but it's Doug Heaven. I wouldn't even put up. I'd be like, ruff, ruff, ruff.
I'd love it, mate.
Straight away. No wonder we don't get sponsors. I had a blackout there. Right, so basically they've sent me a wee script to read, but the Zen Den is, do you know where the Paddy's Market used to be?
Mm-hmm.
Down the Barras?
Yep.
Right across from the High Court?
Yep.
Right across from the kebab shop?
Shawarma King.
Shawarma King.
Best kebab shop in Britain.
Yes. The Zen Den is right beside it, right? And it's ran by a guy called Joe. And I stumbled across it about a year before lockdown. And I've actually, give me a minute, right? I went in for a CBD coffee one day and they do creams, bath bombs, shampoos and vitamins and stuff. And as always, I was like, what's this CBD shite? And this is the CBD that I use. I got that from the Zen Den. This isn't a sponsored thing. I actually bought that with my own money, but Joe's been kind enough to now sponsor the podcast. It tastes a bit like shite, to be honest, but it's good for you. If you put it in your tea or your coffee, you won't taste it, and I enjoy it. It's a very supportive wee cafe. I've went in there and I found myself talking about mental health stuff. It's dog friendly. It is very, very nice. I'll just double check to see if he's put anything cool here. Stoner friendly as well.
Nice. So I can go?
Yes, you can. You junkie scumbag.
Stoner.
Phone the police right now on yourself. Dog friendly. Just by Glasgow Green, and there's nutropics as well.
Nice.
So you can go in and get like nootropic coffee and like all the mushroom stuff. So
nice one. Lion's mane, all that. All the good stuff.
All the good stuff, mate. Have you ever been?
I have seen it, but I've never been in.
It's
so
good.
I maybe need to just jump in. I think I went by it, maybe it's been closed or something like that, but I go down there with my bike.
Yes.
And about the Clyde.
It's really good.
What a sex pest.
And obviously, I don't smoke weed, so I'm just into nootropics and all that. So there we go. Check it the Zen Den.
You're sober.
Yeah.
I'm not. As we talked about last week with my mushroom trip, but I've took CBD in the past and it's very good for relaxing and easing the physical symptoms of anxiety.
Yes, and it's good for what's it called when your your knuckles are always stiff, your fingers are stiff and stuff with your bones.
Oh, like arthritis. And stuff like that?
It's good with that.
Mm-hmm.
I had my mum taking CBD. Obviously, it's legal. You can buy it in Asda anywhere like that. It's perfectly legal. It's not a drug.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at it as a vitamin. Have I been taking it every single day? No, I haven't. Have I been taking it recently? Yes, I have. I'm in a much better place mentally and I've got a good routine. I feel much better. And when I feel much better, I take things like that
Nice.
on top of a structured, good diet.
Nice.
So there we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's me getting my breath back.
Amazing, mate.
I'm not absolutely fucked.
I noticed on Saturday night that you were eating serene.
Either way, the
Fruit loaf.
yes.
So this is a very polarizing substance, this fruit loaf stuff, like malt bread with fruit in it. I'm fucking addicted to it, mate.
Yes.
I love it. You had the banana stuff? The serene banana bread?
Do you know, see if it was there and I was hungry, I would eat it, but I wouldn't buy it. That is very specific. There's very specific flavour to the banana one.
Right.
It's very strong for me.
If you tried toasting it, if you bought the loaf out of Tesco,
That sounds amazing.
get the loaf out of Tesco. Don't over toast it though. Toast, it's one of the ones like it toasts like that. So you take your eye off it for a second, it's fucked, and you just want it to be a wee bit sort of crispy, like lightly toasted. Peanut butter. Holy shit, man.
That sounds amazing.
You're
Did I
gonna
pull
do
that out in the... Was I eating that at the comedy night?
I think so, mate. Aye.
That's
Or
because I
did I see it on your Instagram story or something?
might have been both.
Were you pocket munching at the
I was
comedy night?
pocket munching. Aye. That's 32 days I've been calorie counting.
Superb, mate.
I feel great, mate.
Aye.
I've not weighed myself, but I feel good.
You feeling more comfortable in your clothes and all
I do. Even walking here, I was late to the podcast. I was 10 minutes late and I was like speed walk time and I was like, I've lost weight. Speed walking, I could feel it. And I'm just going to stick to it. When I get a chance to get to Nathaniel and train with him, then I'll weigh myself, but I'm not going to be pure obsessed with weighing myself.
that? Aye.
But that's 32 days. I was bragging about it today on Twitter. I said my body's getting stronger. I feel like a backyard boxer. I'm not even going to finish that sentence. That's fucking horrific. I was going to say my loads are getting creamier, but
You said it now.
I know I had to say it there, but you know that way I was like, no wonder I'm not getting booked for Panto anymore.
Like the shot's getting higher up my belly. I'm getting stronger.
I do feel stronger. My pal started back jiu-jitsu training, right?
Right.
And he was rolling with somebody today that I know. And I started off saying this as a joke. I feel so good calorie counting that I think I could smash fuck out the both of yous at the same time. And by the end of the conversation, I was like, name a time and a place.
Cool.
I'll take the both of yous, man. I don't give a fuck. So,
Where does he go to jiu-jitsu?
I'm not too
You
sure.
don't even know.
Can't
Right, okay.
remember.
That's fucking hilarious.
How have you been since the last podcast?
Since last week, been good, mate. I've been
Baby.
busy. But like you're saying, Saturday night, I had a great night at Tennant's in Byers Road for the, I don't know what they're calling the night. Fucking Colin will be fucking raging.
Colin Higgins.
Aye. Fuck, what's it called?
I can't
I was
remember.
going to say Barrel of Laughs, but that's another comedy night on top. But good lineup, I thought, man.
Yes.
The Gallus Palace.
The
at
Gallus
Tennant's,
Palace.
That's what it's called. I thought Stu was brilliant, mate.
Is that the first time you've ever seen Stu?
Uh-huh.
Now, for people listening to the podcast, Stu is possibly one of the original stand-up comedians in the new wave of stand-up in Scotland that came here in the 80s, maybe. Like actual comedy nights, and comedy nights started getting run. And he was in a TV show. He's done support for Bill Hicks.
Couldn't believe that when you said that.
Aye.
He supported Bill Hicks, mate.
He's 73 years old. I'm sure he wouldn't mind us saying this, but he's not in the best of health right now.
I don't think it's a secret, is it?
Aye, it's not a secret.
He said it on stage. So.
Aye, he said it on stage. He's got cancer and he's got something else. And 73 years old, I'm just going to say, you know, Stu who's got Facebook and he's an amazing poet as well, and he's a very talented guy. He's a good person, right? If you're listening to the podcast, add him on Facebook. But to see him there on Saturday, and he was just like struggling a bit physically. He couldn't stand up, and he was sitting down because he was fucked, and he still smashed a gig. You're like that.
His energy was incredible,
Yeah.
man. And the material was great as well.
Aye.
You know what I liked the most about him was just the pure old man honesty. Like there was a bit where, or there was a moment where he was sitting speaking to you and you were having a conversation. It wasn't like you were just like, you know, like just chatting shit or whatever. You were like sort of like leaning into each other, like actually talking. And somebody for the crowd came up and went, "Oh, Stu, it's good to see you." And he went, "Aye, but can you fucking see me after I've finished my conversation?" And I was like, "Do you know what, man? That's just that pure old guy energy where they just don't give a fuck anymore, man. They're just like, I don't care. Like, fuck off, mate. I'll come and see you and, you know, I'm done."
It's good that you picked up on that, mate, because somebody did that to me last week when I was having a conversation and I let it slide, right? And in my head, I was like, "Ah, rude bastard." See, when he did that, I was actually going to say, like, because I knew that guy. See, the guy that came up,
Right.
He's a stand-up comedian.
Right, okay.
And I was going to say, for fuck's sake, mate, let us finish our conversation. But Stu was like, straight away.
Aye. It was the way that he was like, "Aye, gonna come. It's good to see you, Stu. Aye, it'll be good to see you once I finish my conversation."
He never even fucking acknowledged me, the cunt. He was fucking leaning on my shoulders. He's like, "All right, Stu." Like, "All right, Matt."
Pure push, horn on your face,
Hello?
pushing you to one side. But no, that's a good wee night that they're putting on down there, and they've done it twice, and they've raised nearly $2,000 for Brothers in Arms.
That's amazing.
The 2 nights, and Colin's doing that. He's in Steam.
Yeah.
Out his own back, off his own back, and aye, mate, it's a good night, man. I mean, that room holds 50 folk.
Aye. It's a great charity. I don't think people within my circle are aware at how big this Brothers in Arms is and how important it is. It's always something I've seen in the background. They've got massive Facebook groups and constant fundraisers. And who's the lad that I was talking to?
Gary Goldie.
Gary Goldie. He was a good guy. So, aye, it's a great charity.
Before we get into the podcast and into like whatever we're going to talk about, when I first met Gary, because I did the Brothers in Arms podcast, so I produced that, and that's how I met Gary. See, when I first met him, I was like to him, "See, when you were younger, did you happen to rap?" And he was like, "What?" And it was because I was in a recording studio years ago, maybe like early to mid 2000, no, not even the mid 2000s, like mid to late 2000s, maybe 2007, 2008. And the guy that was the producer in the studio was like, "Do you want to hear this, like, Glaswegian rapper?" And we were all like, "Aye, all right." And to be fair, like, I hope the guy doesn't listen to this podcast, because the producer guy was ripping the piss out of it. Like, we were sitting howling, and one of the raps he did was, Gary Goldie, that's my name, and I say it boldly."
And was it him?
No. Thankfully.
Imagine it was him,
wasn't
man.
him. There was also a line I remember. I don't remember much. I remember that because it stood out. And he said something about, I'm the Robin Hood of Royston.
Oh my God.
That was another one of the rhymes.
I wonder what he's up to now. Gary Goldie.
Fuck knows, mate. Hope he made it.
Hi. He's doing 15 to 20.
He's in Berlin, writing his next rap opus.
He's probably doing the Fringe. Speaking of the Fringe, that's the Fringe starting now.
I know, mate. Seen some posts about it today.
Yes, so we'll talk about the Fringe for a wee bit.
Aye, mate.
Obviously that's kind of back to full swing with COVID kind of getting better. Well, not really getting better. People are still getting COVID and shows are still getting cancelled. But if you're going up to the Edinburgh Fringe this month, I have some recommendations. Obviously, Susie McCabe, very funny comedian. I imagine, I'm willing to say that after this Edinburgh Fringe run, that she's going to be a household name. This is her moment. This is her Fringe.
She was incredible at your new material night at the stand, mate. Really good, man. So
Awesome.
comfortable on stage. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So if you want to go and catch a comedian before she becomes massive, go and see Susie McCabe at the Fringe. Also, Rachel Jackson doing my night. I'm just naming people that
Did you like that
done my
at the
night.
Fringe?
Everybody else is a cunt because they never done my gig. No, Rachel Jackson, Christopher MacArthur Boyd, CMB. He's doing a show as well.
Right.
Very funny boy.
Seen him supporting Frankie Boyle at Glee.
Yes. Was getting trolled on Twitter recently because he was doing a joke about Celtic and Rangers.
Aye. I mean, I seen it. I thought it was funny. I'm a Celtic fan. I thought it was funny, but he's right.
Yeah.
He's totally right. Like,
see, I never laughed at it, but I loved the reaction that it got. So I was like, good on him. I want that. I love the fact that he caused pain to people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm recommending his show.
Are we home truth for like people on Twitter? Like, no, that's not right. Like,
Aye.
Yeah, it kind of does.
So he's very funny. And an English boy called Liam Withnail.
Right.
Very, very funny comedian. Good guy. And he's doing a show at the Monkey Barrel. I'm not going to name their shows and what time it is. Just Google their name. Also, if you just go up off the cuff one day and you're bored, I would say just jump into the Monkey Barrel or the Stand Comedy Club.
Mm-hmm.
I need to say this as well. Like, two venues that actually support comedians and pay comedians. There's a lot of comedians that are going to, and actors and everybody else that are going to do this run, and they're going to lose thousands of pounds and not get paid. So if you would like comedians to get paid, go to the Monkey Barrel, the Stand Comedy Club, or the Free Fringe when there's a bucket at the end of the show. And if you stick money in the bucket, you will know that the comedians are getting paid.
I think Mark Nelson's doing a pay what you can show.
Yes.
Maybe his matinee or something like that. It's a pay what you can or something like that. I don't know.
Obviously, Mark Nelson's very funny too. And if you go and purchase a ticket to his show, you won't be disappointed.
There's so much at it, mate. I had seen somewhere that the official Edinburgh Fringe top 50 acts to go and see, not one of them was Scottish, which is...
It sums it up, mate. It's a pirate ship. It's an absolute pirate ship that takes advantage of people with a dream, and working class people from all walks of life will not benefit from it.
No way. Can't even afford to go to it.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
You will literally go into £5,000 debt at least. When I finished my first run, I get hit with a $5,000 bill. I've never seen £5,000 in my life.
I think that's a disgrace. But do you think it's necessary anymore? And I don't mean from like putting it on. Obviously, put it on, right? But there used to be this thing, you need to do the Fringe. Do you think that's true anymore?
I don't think it's true. I think it's dying. I think it's honestly dying. It's this big corrupt kind of machine now. And the only reason that I would go to it now is to do the Stand or Monkey Barrel. But I don't know why I would do it again. Like, I've got bills to pay. I can't afford to go into thousands of pounds of debt. Like, that's crazy.
Aye, that's insane. But I think with the internet, you don't need to go there. See, it's like all the press are there and you do a good show and you get a 5-star review at the Fringe. It used to be really huge.
Yeah.
See now, half of the cunts I know don't even know it's fucking... You say to them, the Fringe is on, they'll be like, what?
I know.
Aye, and what?
Aye.
Used to be like huge, do you know what I mean? Like...
Yep, if you want to support live comedy, just go to the Stand Comedy Club in Glasgow or Edinburgh outside August, or the Glee Club. If you really love comedy, then you've got comedians doing solo shows and all that. So,
I get caught at the Fringe one year. I was got to see Foo Fighters at Meadowbank, and I sat down in what was an empty room. And as soon as I sat the seat, the fucking curtain went, and the guy came out, pure, hello. So, and I was just sitting there by myself waiting for my missus to come out taking a piss in the toilet.
Oh my God.
It was horrific. And when I literally was saying sorry to the guys I left, I was standing up I need to go, mate. I'm so sorry. And the guy just continued on with his comedy.
Did he even acknowledge you? Did he even say anything?
Other than clearly he's been waiting for somebody to come in. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it was only you?
It was only me.
Oh my God.
There was nobody else there. And and she went to the toilet and I went, I'm just going to grab a seat, just give a shout when you come out the toilet. It was just like an empty room. As soon as I sat down, it was pure, hello, he came out. I was like, oh God, this guy's been waiting in the wings for like one person to come in, it was like free. There was about like 13, 14, 15 seats, something like that. And
I feel he's paying. One year when I went up as there was a open spot, we had a show, me, a comedian called Stephen Halcrow, Eddie Cassidy, Ross Main, and myself. We did a show at the Three Sisters. And
right.
I swear to God, mate, it was in a cupboard. It must have been a cupboard.
Well, this looked like a cupboard.
Aye.
This looked like a wee room. Like, the toilets were there. The main bar was here. We were in the bar having a beer, and then we were leaving to go to the gig. She went out to the toilet, and it was just like a room with like 10 or 15 seats in it. Looked like a fucking cupboard.
Yeah.
As soon as I sat down. So it's probably been a similar sort of thing to what you've had.
He's came out like... He's like, hey guys, how you all doing? Yeah.
Just launched into his act and like one joke in, she's like, come on. And I'm like, sorry mate, I need to go, and just left. Poor guy.
Yeah, I've had some strange times at the Fringe. I remember, hopefully I'm not grassing them in. I think they wouldn't mind. I remember when I went up and you see the clattiness of what the Fringe is. See, when you're an up-and-comer, you get these people that try to, you know, smooze you. Smooze, is that the word?
Aye, I think so.
Aye, you're like, yous are all just fake. But I remember I got the chance to potentially support Tom Green doing stand-up.
As in like fucking Freddie Got Fingered Tom Green?
Aye.
Right, the American guy, right? Fuck's sake.
And it fell through.
Right.
But I still got to meet him. So I
really?
remember we were at this after party, right? With Tom Green was there. Michael Winslow, right?
Who's he?
The guy for Police Academy that does all the mad voices.
Aye, the guy that does all the noises.
Aye.
Right,
And I'm there working in Asda at the time, doing all these mental gigs, no getting paid, having the time of my life. I drank at the time, right?
Right.
And I remember there was a joint getting passed a bit, and Michael Winslow was smoking a joint.
Ooh.
Did I just grass him in there? And he's like, do you want a puff? Obviously in an American accent. And I was like, right, I've never smoked that in my life. But Michael Winslow for Police Academy is offering me a puff of a joint. I'm gonna fucking take it.
Right, aye.
Mate, 2 draws of a joint. I was fucking melted, man. I was grabbing Tom Green, right? And I was like, see Freddie Got Fingered, mate. Honestly, man, one of the best comedies ever made. Talking utter shite. But they were brand new. It was a great night and it was a great laugh. But see, by the end of the night, just because Edinburgh, it was like, 24 hours a day, man. It's just carnage during the Fringe.
Aye.
I couldn't get anywhere to sleep. And I remember this mad after party being with all these people, and then I just walked in towards the Three Sisters, tried to get a couple of hotels, everywhere was booked, fucked, tried to go into a hostel, full, and I just done that. Oh well, and just went for a sleep on a bench in the middle of Edinburgh. And I just woke up the next day. I was just like, did that really happen? Like, the promoter guy got in touch with us, because I joked about it on my Facebook saying I just went for a kip last night on a bench after hanging about with Tom Green.
Right.
Such a weird night.
Aye.
And he's like, next time tell us and I would have let you sleep my flare, but like, oh well. That's mental, isn't it? Just a mad story.
Interesting happened with Tom Green other than you slabbering on him.
No, it was alright. It was just the usual shite. Like,
was he weird?
I think he was a bit weird because he couldn't understand me because of the Scottish accent. But he wasn't... From what you see on the TV is no the Tom Green that's real.
Right, okay.
He's socially awkward, quiet.
Right.
Quiet wee guy. And he followed me on Twitter, right? He'd followed me for ages.
Right.
And then he unfollowed me and I was like, prick!
Oh, did he?
What a prick. Bastard.
I believe that. Why are you doing? What did you say?
So see, when I went very early into my comedy career, when I had Twitter, I fully admit that I wasn't funny.
Right.
I might have been funny doing stand-up comedy on a stage when I was finding my voice, but Twitter, my part was pathetic, mate. So I actually went through my tweets during lockdown.
Right.
33,000 tweets, right? I went through them since I started Twitter. Obviously, I went through it to try and get some material as well. Like, maybe I could use that as a joke. Mate, I would have get cancelled if I never deleted their tweets. Like, see all these comedians that are getting cancelled, I would have get cancelled. Like, 100%. I can see the joke in the tweet, but it's no a joke yet. And I'm like, right, that's, jokes about suicide, depression, tweets at like 3 a.m, and I'm like, that's not a joke. That's me just saying I'm going to kill myself. Like,
that's just desperation on my Twitter feed.
And it's like, really just shite, just pure shite.
Right. So Tom Green was right to unfollow you.
I don't blame him, but am I still going to wish death on him? Aye.
Okay.
Aye. Have I never watched any of his films since? So, yeah, of course. Have I gave him a 1-star review on all his podcasts and shows? Aye. Aye. That bad mouth him in green rooms, even though it was 10 years ago? Aye.
How do you bring him up? Like, in the stand, green room with Susie McCabe, Rachel Jackson, Mikey Motion, you. How do you bring Tom Green? How do you wedge him into the conversation so you can badmouth him?
So we could be sitting in the green room and Susie does that. We're in a green room and I'd be like, Tom Green, he's a cunt. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Cindy's like, my brother-in-law's called Freddie. Like, ever seen Freddie Got Fingered? I don't fucking watch it.
One of the best films ever made. Do you remember it?
Mate, I loved Freddie Got Fingered.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I loved it.
It was funny.
It was hilarious. I don't know what my favourite bit in the full movie is. Such just stupidity goes on in that movie. The bit where his mate breaks his leg and he just starts licking the fucking bone. You're like, what the fuck? Who even thinks of that shit? But it's just so stupid. But the bit where he's sitting playing the piano, Daddy, would you like some sausage? And he just gets sausages hanging. Who thinks of that? And better still, who puts it in a fucking movie?
Mm-hmm. See, the funny thing about that is, though, see the dad, Tom Green's dad, I can't remember his name.
Is it no Rip Torn that plays him in it?
Is it Rip Torn?
I don't know if it is, but
he's a very well-respected actor that's been in really successful, multiple Hollywood films. And I love the fact that he's just appeared in Freddy Get Fingered.
Let's have a look to see.
He was in Men in Black as well.
I don't know if it is Ripped On, but let's have a look. Freddy Got Fingered. It is Ripped On. Aye, it is. Do you know what, man? That dude plays angry. Like, seeing that movie when he loses it with him and all that. And but just the fucking sheer stupidity of that fucking movie.
Sadly, no longer with us.
Who? Rip Torn? I know, mate. But do you know he did the skateboard in one take?
Did he?
Aye, but it took him like 1 million takes to do it, but he wanted to do like the one continuous take.
Wow.
Which is impressive, man. For your art. Still a cunt, but
Aye. I was only kidding on about Tom Green. I do like him. He's a good lad.
Follow he's on Twitter, Tom.
He's my best mate. Him and Michael Winslow are my best mates.
Did he do any voices before we...
Aye, he was, mate.
Was he like showing off? Was he like flexing?
No, it's just part of his personality. Like,
right.
See the way we have a conversation and you're like, it's so hard to describe. Like, he uses sounds to describe words. So it's just part of his thing.
Right.
But I'm tripping at my fucking mind. And I'm like, is he even moving his mouth when he's doing that? He was like a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point that he was doing it and like nobody was laughing and all that. He's so good at it, but...
Oh, I mean...
Because I was like, I'm like, he's making noises and I'm like, is somebody behind the curtain there? Like, it was him.
But can he do like, what's that called? Excuse me, where you project your voice?
He does it all, mate.
Right.
Maybe because I was just stoned at my fucking mind.
You've been hearing it in like fucking 4D.
I even remember saying something along the lines of saying, so cringe, saying, is Police Academy coming back? Are you making another Police Academy?
He was like, I fucking hope so.
I know.
Did you like the Police Academy movies?
Do you know, I thought I did, but I watched them recently, and I think there's 2 that are alright, and the
Right.
rest of them are so shite.
Right. I'm very wary of revisiting movies for the 80s,
Mhm.
in particular movies for the 80s that I seen when I was younger. How many Police Academy movies is there? Like fucking 40 or something like
I think there's 7 or something.
that? There's one in Moscow,
Aye.
one in fucking Russia.
Yeah.
But there's one in particular, Citizens on Patrol. Is that Police Academy 3? Maybe 2.
Can't remember.
That is actually really fucking good. Like, really good. Actually, like, funny. And I think when they had the guy, Mahoney, what's his
Aye.
name? He was in Cocoon, another great movie. When they had the original cast, it was decent. It was like a good movie, but they ripped the arse out of it, didn't they, man?
He's kind of fell away, that guy, isn't he?
Steve Guttenberg.
Yep. He had a great career and he's not really done much.
Weird that, isn't it? Like, you get people that are like hot.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mean physically, I mean like career wise and like acting. They're fucking hot for like 10 years, and then they end up in like mad shady B cop movies and all that.
Aye.
Like,
Paulie Shore.
mate.
Perfect example.
Aye, mate. He was a flavour of the month, big time. He was in everything at one point in time. Who's the guy that kids want to be Michael J? Corey Feldman.
Oh, that's quite sad, actually.
Aye, mate.
I listened to his book. He's got a book on Audible. It's really good.
You ever heard his song?
Is it the one with the angels?
I don't know, mate. I watched it live. I don't even know if they released it, but there's like a YouTube video, or maybe pull it up a wee bit, like here in the post, where he's on like no Saturday Night Live. It was the one on MTV. It used to be like he did it in like Times Square in New York. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Aye.
and he like he just starts singing and dancing the song. Man, it's a car crash, man.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It's so bad. It's like worse than Vanilla Ice.
It's weird because I've heard him on podcasts and he's quite an interesting, funny guy. I think he was on a Bobby Lee podcast once and he was alright.
Like Tiger Belly.
Aye, but when he starts singing, you're like, mate.
He did an episode of, which is a great podcast, that Steve-O's podcast is at Wild Ride. And some of the shit that he was talking about, you're like, wow, man. Pure outing cunts, not.
Hey,
Like,
what?
for it, pure outing cunts.
Aye.
Aye, for like abusing him. He was like abused as a child, like by people in Hollywood.
Aye.
He was part of that scene, like the Coreys and
Aye.
who else was like Jodie Foster, like all these child stars that they're all fucked up.
Also in The Goonies, one of the greatest films ever made.
Love it, mate. See that Lost Boys? He's on Lost Boys. Another.
Yeah.
But The Goonies is, mate. Sunday afternoon. I know you don't drink, but see Sunday afternoon hangover. Get a bit of lunch. Stick the Goonies on.
Aye.
Top tier.
See if Sloth was still alive, right? Would you be mates with him?
Like Sloth, as in like if the character for the Goonies was real, or the dude that played American football and
The character.
right, 100%, mate.
Aye. So would I.
Aye.
Do you know how I think I might be mentally ill? Because sometimes I think the guy that played him's dead as well, right?
Mhm.
That makes me sad. But the fact, I don't know, man, Sloth just makes me sad. Like, I just wish he'd get treated better.
He's definitely got some sort of like weird attachment issues because he like falls in love with a child at like sight. I don't know, maybe something fucking sinister about it. Maybe we spoke about the Mrs. Doubtfire horror trailer.
Yeah.
Somebody could make a Goonies horror trailer for sure.
Aye.
See the scene in the abandoned cafe? That used to scare the shit out of me.
That was scary. Aye, there's some really scary parts of the Goonies when I was younger.
Mhm.
I remember that. Aye.
It's unbelievable that it's who's the dude that plays the Big Brother?
He's in the Marvel films and all that now.
Mate, aye. He's fuck's sake, man.
Paul's just going to quickly check
Always having to fucking double check. So shite with names, man.
that. Don't worry, baby.
As soon as you Josh Brolin.
Yes.
That's
Amazing.
No Country for Old Men, and
I think
serious actor.
I've mentioned this on the podcast once. I tweeted one of the cast members of the Goonies years ago, and I just said, when is Goonies 2 coming out? And she blocked me.
fuck you. But that might be because they wanted it and they never got it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or who knows, man.
I don't even think I meant anything bad by it. I was just like, fuck it.
Genuinely want the Goonies too.
Aye.
Like, why not?
I want more sloth.
Where's Sloth?
I know.
You guys.
Hi. I'd have him up on the couch like a dog. Imagine treating him like a dog. I told you, no, don't go on the couch. All right.
Get to your bed. Get off my bed.
You've had your dinner. This is my dinner.
I say that to my cats all the fucking time. We fucking bastards love cheese and they just come up like that cheese. And I'm like, you've had your fucking dinner.
Beat it. Talking about last week's podcast, a punter got in touch with us. You know how I was talking about the Trolley Boys cupboard?
Mm-hmm.
So that seems to have done quite well on TikTok.
Right.
But funnily enough, my old manager got in touch with us.
The
Aye.
one that was like, tell me who it was.
Yep.
Right.
And she straight away, she was like, you fucking grassed yourself in there, a belter. She's like, I had a wee feeling it was you. But she took it well. She found it very funny. But a guy got in touch with us and he's like, I love the mad work stories. He works in McVitie's biscuit factory. And that's
Right.
actually shutting down this weekend, I think.
Oh, is that the one down at Toll Cross?
I think so, mate.
Oh, you're kidding on.
So I take it it's gone private.
No, well, they'll probably just moving it somewhere.
Moving it.
Fuck it, because, I mean, as the city centre expands, places like Denniston and Toll Cross and that, they'll just become gentrified, same as the South Side, same as the West End has.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be like Iron Brew. The Iron Brew Bars Factory used to be at Parkhead at Celtic Park. They've moved up to Cumbernauld. It's just cheaper for them to have their shit there.
Yeah.
It's not in the city. So I
Yeah.
think it'll have something to do with that.
Well, he got in touch with us and that biscuit factory has been there for years, right? 30 years or something, maybe
Mhm.
even longer.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a story. He said that, I don't know why it was up in the roof, but they had this container up in the roof that had nothing but water in it. Nothing ran through it. It was just like an empty brass container
Right.
of rainwater, I think.
Right, okay. Right, I was like, water?
Aye. And he said he had a colleague that walked past him holding a towel one day. And he's like, where you going? And he's like, I'm away for a swim.
No, he didn't.
He used to go swimming.
And the fucking bogging rainwater in this container.
Yep.
But he would go for a wee swim.
On the roof
Who the fuck?
of the McVitie's biscuit factory.
Wow, man. He must have brung his shorts and his fucking towel. into
He
work with him.
did. Yep, he did. I was howling. I was like, mate, can I tell that on the podcast? And he's like, aye, the guy fucking died
what's
15
fucking
years ago.
mental about that? There's a fucking swimming pool across the road
Aye,
in Toll Cross Park.
I know.
This guy's fucking flapping about in a fucking container full of rainwater.
He was the original cold water therapy. Then eating a biscuit after it. Amazing.
I used to stay in Toll Cross and I loved the smell of that factory, mate.
Aye.
Jammy Dodgers. Bullet pure. Smells like Jammy Dodgers.
If I worked in that factory, I'd die, man.
How do they maintain their weight? Because one, well, maybe they become noseblind to it, like people that work in Lush, but they're around the smells of biscuits all day, which would drive me fucking insane.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure they get like the broken biscuits.
Oh, the day on a reduced fee. Mate, my pal got a job in McDonald's and within 4 months he looked like he get poisoned by a fucking Russian agent.
It's exactly what happened to me, mate. I went for at 16, like could play on a Sunday 3 games of football back to back, like constantly kicking a ball, constantly running, like, and then I stopped playing football at like 16 because I was shite, and I was like, I still kicked a ball about, but stopped playing football for teams. Got a job at McDonald's, and literally by the time I was 19, I was like 25 stone.
Wow.
I put on 10 stone, and that's as a teenager. That's impressive. You know what I
Aye.
mean? But, mate, you could go in there and morning. See, if you went in for the early shift, the breakfast shift, 6 a.m. start, you would be having breakfast, lunch, and dinner at McDonald's.
Aye.
Guarantee you. You'd have the breakfast at your break, because, like, who doesn't fucking love a sausage and egg McMuffin? then you would get your lunch, and then when you were leaving, you'd be like, "Can I take a Big Mac?" And they'd be like, "They don't give a fuck. They let you eat what you want."
Aye. I was actually, see, because I'm completely obsessed with calorie counting right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm listening to podcasts, I'm reading books about it, and the guys were saying like you can't eat things like McDonald's if you're within your calories.
You can.
Aye.
Aye, of course. You can
So-
eat what you like.
Over the weekend there, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to blow my calories on a McDonald's. But I feel like over the space of 32 days, my appetite's changed. So I was like, I'm not even going to waste my calories on a McDonald's. And I just ate normally. But
Aye, good.
for the first, 2 days in calorie counting, I'm like, I'm getting fucking a quarter pounder with chicken nuggets on
Do
it.
you know what I like to do? I like to. My maintenance calories are fucking high. I'm 6'5", right, 100 kilo. So like I can eat 3,000 calories a day. I won't put any fucking weight on. Quite an active fucker as well, but that's my maintenance is 3,000 calories. And if I'm in a deficit, right, see if I'm trying to lose a bit of weight, I'll go to 2,500.
Yeah.
So take 500 off. It's not a lot. It's like a couple of bars of chocolate or whatever way you want to fucking look at it. You know what I love to do, mate? Save up calories. So maybe eat 2,000 calories, 5 days, and then have like a Five Guys.
Oh,
Mate, how good is Five Guys,
you
man?
dirty bastard.
So hungry.
I'm in my head, I'm like, Monday I'm doing 2,000 calories a day, and then I'm going to
Have a Five Guys on the Friday night, man. Because there's a lot of calories in their food, mate.
I was looking at Five Guys. I don't want to be, this is no boring chat, but I was looking at their menu trying to figure out how many calories are in their food, and it was quite hard to find out.
It's in MyFitnessPal.
Was it?
Aye, mate.
Sums my fucking sums my life up.
And this is mental, mate. You'll be like, what? So a bacon cheeseburger for Five Guys. So that's just a burger. Sits in the palm of your hand. 920 calories.
That is mental.
Regular fries. Have a guess.
The same. 900.
More.
Oh my god.
1,000.
Wow.
The large fries, 1,400.
Wow.
So if you're talking about like an average female on a like calorie deficit, a large Five Guys fries, and mate, you can eat them and like that, man. They're gone. They're fucking, you wolf them down.
Yeah.
And they're so good. But the calories are high, so that's what I'm saying. I would save up 500 calories a day over 4 or 5 days to give me that 2,000 or 2,500 spare calories so that I can have a Five Guys on like a Friday night or something.
And no feel bad about
Fat
it.
Friday.
It hits the spot, doesn't it? I don't know why I struggled to get that out.
Because the saliva going around your mouth flat.
I was really struggling there.
Get the fries for a Five Guys, man.
Aye.
You're a ridiculous amount of fucking chips in the bags, man.
I knew one, man. You're fucking more chance of getting a mortgage for a house than fucking paying for a Five Guys. You could fucking fill a pothole with the chips.
I know, mate. We went in there one Monday. I'm obsessed with the Coca-Cola machines.
Aye.
See, like the sugar-free Dr. Pepper with like strawberry and vanilla and oh my god, geez it all day. And I was on a wee walk on a Monday. I take a Monday off, and me and the missus went into Five Guys, and I was like, "Can I just get like a large drink?" And they were like, "You can't have that. You need to buy something else."
Honestly?
And it's because they don't make any money off of the Coca-Cola machines. The Coca-Cola machines cost them so much money to buy and then to maintain and like the syrups for it that they kind of just let you buy that.
That's mental.
You need to buy. I bought a small fries, and it was like incredible, mate. Salty and oh my god, I'm so hungry, mate. Why the fuck
I'm
we
getting
talking about
hungry
food?
as well. But that's why I love this calorie counting stuff, because I've started to eat food that I would class as bad, and I've really started to drink like nice drinks. Like I love a zero Dr. Pepper. I find it so refreshing. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to feel guilty about this. And like the day for, I don't want to bore you with calorie counting shit, but the day for my breakfast I had, do you hear that?
Aye, I think it was just a chair.
Sounded like the roof was going to cave in. For my breakfast today, I had 2 bits of white bread, 2 skinny square sausages for Aldi, fried onions, and a can of Iron Brew Extra, and it was like 400 calories. I was like, that fucking hit the spot, man. So there we go.
I like that. Like, no foods are bad, mate. I've done keto and all fucking Atkins and every fucking diet under the sun all the fucking years, and they just don't last. You can't do them long term. It's alright to do keto if you're like, you know, whatever you want to do, but calorie counting, eating what you like, having the freedom to eat what you like, just knowing that you need to control yourself.
Aye.
It's the best, mate. It really is, man.
And also getting some harsh truths as well. See, finding out about veganism as well. Like, a lot of people with disordered eating will lean towards veganism because you're instantly chopping out most junk foods and bad food, and you think you're eating healthy because you're a vegan. And I have to hold my hands up and say that's why I started to be a vegan. But I started to like the animal side of it like 6 months down the line. But I started being a vegan for weight loss and no other reason. And I wish I could say that I didn't know about the calorie stuff. I did, but I just tried to always out-train a bad diet.
Aye,
And I'm like, nah, man, I'm 35. I can't out-train a bad diet.
I think anybody can, mate, unless you're fucking 18.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
So it's all about, and then I feel like my mental health has got better as well because I'm no, like last night I had a cup of tea and 3 ginger biscuits. The ginger biscuits are 62 calories a biscuit. No, 42 calories a biscuit. And I'm like, I don't even feel bad about that. But see, if that was like 2 months ago, I'd be like, I want to fucking hang myself in my chin-up bar because I've got no self-control.
Some of the things really surprise you how low in calories they are, man. Biscuits are one of them. People think like you could eat a full fucking pack of them if you wanted.
Aye. And comparing them to the biscuits that I already had, I had a lot of 99 calorie bars for like Aldi and Pound Savers and all that.
Right.
So I'm like, am I going to have a 99 calorie bar or I'll have 3 biscuits? I'm going to have 3 biscuits because I'm a greedy boy.
Fucking right, mate. Go for it. But even like last night, mate, I was like, it goes back to what you're saying there. Good and bad foods. Like 196 calories for a whisper. That's fucking class, man.
I thought that would have been higher.
That's it, mate. That is it, isn't it? 250 calories for a big grab bag, a 47.5 gram grab bag of McCoy's. Just work it into your foot. See if that's what you like. Why deny yourself these things? Unless you've got a specific reason, right? Say, for instance, you're like skin. You know, like, oh, I really want to, or, you know, gut health.
Aye.
IBS or whatever. Obviously, like, there's gluten and there's all these things.
Yeah.
And I know everything, there's dairy, what we're talking about. But see if it's genuinely, and I think, like, honestly, 80%, 90% of people that you speak to, it's about wanting to control their weight. It's about not wanting to lose control of their diet and what shape they're in or whatever.
Yeah.
You can eat what you like, man. You can if you look at people like Paddy Pimblett, right? UFC fighter, not he's rake thin and the guy's shoving McDonald's. It's like there's a way that you can do it.
Yeah.
100% you can do it.
A very simple basic science behind it that is easily followed, and it makes me think about PTs. Like, why, as soon as you walk into a gym, they should say, if you're not watching your calories, then there's no point in being here, unless you just want to feel better. But you won't get a result through, if it's weight loss, you won't get a result. I've seen the amount of times I've ran on a treadmill for an hour with a sweatsuit on, mate, and I'm like, why am I still fat? Because I've never tracked my calories.
What you're putting in your mouth.
Even when I thought I was healthy, like I used to have smoothies. Like, do you know what? I'll have a smoothie for my breakfast and that'll be all right. I'm putting a full fucking tub of strawberries in it, blueberries, raspberries, a banana. Then I'm putting full fat milk, ice, and a protein powder in it. Fuck knows how many calories that is. Do you know what I mean?
About fucking 1,500 by the sounds of it.
And I'm like, oh no, it's a protein shake. It's a fucking smoothie.
Healthy.
It's good.
It's healthy.
I tell you a lie, my breakfast today was 517 calories, but that was 2 slices of bread, 2 sausages, a cup of tea, tomato ketchup, Diet Coke, and it was a wee breakfast bar. So that was all right.
100%, mate.
I'm fucking starving, man. And I also shat my pants yesterday, by the way, moving we'll move on for the calorie counting because the people just want the filth, didn't they? I shat my pants.
Like literally shat yourself.
I shat my pants. Walking, I was going to Nando's.
And what happened?
Well, I sat and read the menu, counted out my calories, and I thought, this is what I'm going to get. And I walked it from my flat to the Nando's, and I was round the corner from the Nando's, and I was like, there's a weird shooting pain in my stomach. And I was like, did I just shit my pants? No full-blown shat my pants.
Right.
Did shite leave my arse? Yes. Did it soil my pants? Yes. But I never sat in Nando's and had a meal with full shite in my pants. But if I took my pants off and you looked inside them, you would see shite. That's me trying to justify it.
Was your boxers like one of them mad ink blot fucking pictures?
So when I got home and I took my boxers off and I seen it, I just put them in the bin.
Aye.
I was like, you can't save that.
Aye.
And the Nando's was shite as well.
Oh, mate, overrated or underrated Nando's?
Overrated.
100%, mate. And the price, mate.
Aye.
Oft.
The price is a shambles.
There's a place in Glasgow called Grill Guru, and they're doing it the St Enoch Centre, and they would probably deliver to like where you are. And their menu is exactly the fucking same as Nando's. They do the pitas with the halloumi in it, everything. They've just copied Nando's menu, but it's like half the fucking price. And the chicken, do you know what I don't like about Nando's? I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't taste like fresh chicken.
No.
It tastes like, I don't know, there's something going on with it, you know what I mean?
It's dafty central and all. Why does it attract so many dafties?
Yeah, we're just going to Nando's, cheeky Nando's.
Yeah.
Like that type of shit.
Guess where I'm going tonight?
Well.
Nando's.
Really?
Aye.
How come?
My two pals want to meet me and they said Nando's and I said I don't want a Nando's and they were like,
fuck you.
We want a Nando's.
Whereabouts is a Nando's for you?
So I'm the one that I shat my pants in was the one beside Central Station.
The big one? Not
Aye.
the big huge one?
The chips when they cooked right, the stem broccoli was shite, the wrap was tasteless. I'm sitting there with shite all in my arse.
Fucking nightmare, mate. You get mugged. How do you? what level of heat do you get? Do you get your Nando's?
I normally get it spicy, but I was with somebody and I was like, I can't be arsed slabbering like a fucking pig here, so I just got it medium.
Who are you with?
Lucy, Ashley, the wrestler.
All right, your cousin.
Yes.
All right. I thought you were cheating on me.
No. Which she grassed you in, by the way.
For what?
I'll tell you this on the podcast. I've got a cousin called Nathaniel that's a boxer, and Ashley's a wrestler. What's her surname again? Or wrestling surname? I can't remember, but
mate. Wow.
That's terrible. I should know that.
That's terrible. That's worse than whatever you're going to say for me. I did nothing but sing your praises. On you go. What did I say?
You never to Ashley, didn't you?
100% did. Like, what did I say?
She was like, he's a boxer and you're a wrestler. What the fuck's that with Darren then?
Maybe I did say that.
Something along the lines.
That's a joke.
Here, I get it. But if I put you in the exact same bracket as Tom Green, aye. Am I going to try and get comedians to call you when they're doing podcasts in the studio? Aye. No, I was kidding on, mate. It was very funny. It was one of the ones I was like, you bastard, I said that as well. Right, so I shat my pants. We're going to go through the list. There's a thing that you sent me that you said you would like to bring up.
Yes.
I don't know much about it.
Okay.
Shall I let you lead?
Well, it turns out that Prince William likes a dildo in the butt. He's the hashtag on Twitter is like the Prince of Pegging.
Oh my god.
Or the Pegging Prince.
Wow.
So it turns out that allegedly, because we don't want Scotland's #1 podcast to get shut down.
The both of us found in an oil drum, accidentally stabbed ourselves in the back.
Aye, needle marks on our fucking jugular, and they're like, they had a heart attack, the two of them.
The fake Prince Harry. Anyway, sorry.
Aye, exactly. But the whole Meghan Markle thing was like a smoke screen for Prince William's affair with Kate Middleton's best friend, or one of her best friends. But it turns out that the reason that he's playing away from home is that Kate will nae pump him up the arse,
Wow.
and her pal will.
Wow.
Now, I genuinely think that this is a amazing, for progress, that the future King of England is getting bent air by a woman with a strap on.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. How do you feel about it?
Well, I've got a semi, so that's how I feel about it.
Just here.
I've only had 3 wanks today. I've got 2 more to go.
Calorie counting and wine counting.
I mean, I don't. If it wasn't somebody that was, if anybody's into pegging, it's such a vanilla thing now. Like,
do you think so?
I mean, I've never had it done. Would I? Aye, probably would.
Would you?
I'd try it. Aye. I'm self-conscious about my arse, but
you ever had denting up your bum, like a finger?
I feel why
are you blushing?
Every single thing that I've said on this podcast, why am I feeling defensive about that? I've had a finger up the arse.
Aye, mate. I enjoy it.
Aye.
I enjoy a bit of butt play. But I think that there's another, you're saying it's vanilla, there's another level to like your chosen partner, not necessarily female, to strap on a dildo and like give you one. I don't know. Like,
it's right, aye, that's fair enough. It's intense. A dildo's quite large. I'd imagine that you can't just stick it in and go wild. You need to prepare yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I need to shave my arse. What happens if I shit myself? I mean, I shat myself walking to Nando's, fuck's sake. Walking. Just my body, just being alive. I shat my pants. Never mind getting pegged. So I'm like, I need to go on a 48-hour fast. Fuck that.
Get a colonic.
I shave my arse, baby wipe my arse. No, it's not even worth it.
Need to douche before you do it. But I think it's hilarious, mate. I think it, because it's like this whole, like Britishness and the chosen people, and then, God's chosen people to rule, and he's just fantasizing about his missus fucking ramming him. I think it's hilarious, man.
It is funny, isn't it?
But I also think it's pretty disgusting that they've done everything in their fucking power to try and like draw attention away from it, including, throw his brother and his missus under a fucking bus. Do you know what I mean? And
he had an affair. Crazy. He needs to shave his hair off, I know, man.
I know what's
Somebody
about,
needs
mate.
to say to him, mate, just let go. Go into a Turkish barber's and get a double fucking zero.
Do you not think it's incredible though? Like the difference, like Prince William at one point in time was like touted to be like dating Britney Spears and heartthrob. Now he looks like a fucking geography teacher.
Aye.
With his mad grey suit.
Like a PE teacher that's been caught having an affair with a student. And he leaves his wife and all that to go and live with a fucking 12-year-old. You're like, mate.
Allegedly.
Aye, allegedly.
But she's got eating disorders and all that, like Kate Middleton's
Is
getting.
she?
I'm pretty sure she's got an eating disorder, or she's had, like, people have commented looking at her going, she looks as if she might suffer from anorexia or whatever.
Wow.
So all is not well. But I just thought it was fucking hilarious. I was just pissed myself laughing. Just like, this guy's, just the future King of England, the future,
I got a wee bit confused because there was something about Prince Charles a couple of weeks ago. He was saying he wanted to live inside his wife's skirt and all that. Like,
really?
Aye, it was odd.
He loves a kilt. He's always fucking cutting about in a fucking kilt.
There was something about his sex life that popped up.
Right.
Well,
I mean, he was a playboy for sure.
Aye.
I mean, Diana was a peace mate when she was
Aye,
younger.
she was stunning, man.
Aye, mate, smoking hot. And he didn't want to marry her. He was wanting to go and keep playing about in the south of France or wherever the fuck he was, running about shagging models. Like Prince Charles was absolutely like a pure like billionaire playboy. Well, it's so funny. Like apparently it's getting its own mainstream news in Australia and New Zealand, but we're not getting a sniff of that shit, man.
Aye.
You won't catch the fucking sun. Jeremy Corbyn, wee old guy that fucking attends his allotment and wants normal people to have like, healthcare and housing. They're like, oh, he's a bad man, he's dangerous, but this shit's going on, like using human shields, literal human shields to like get away with a scandal, and we're fucking pressed don't want to know fuck all about it. Man.
Happily throwing people under the bus. It's quite a disaster, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's true?
That he likes pegging?
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, if it was true, I wouldn't care. Like, it doesn't even affect me. Like, I don't class it as a scandal. It's sad that if it's true that he cheated on his wife, that's sad. I think that should be the scandal, the fact that he cheated on his wife. But being into, like, pegging and whatever.
I love your life, man.
Like, whatever. If it's your thing, it's your thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Prince Charles' fingers now? Imagine taking a finger off him.
No, I've not seen his fingers.
Mate, his fingers are fucked.
Really?
Honestly, see if you Google his fingers, right, and you'll see them. They look like he's dipped them in Chernobyl. I don't know what I don't know what's up with his
Floppy
fingers.
jingles?
Oh, mate. They were trying to say it was like COVID fingers or something, maybe. But I don't know.
COVID fingers. Let's have a look. Fucking hell, man.
Aye.
Look like Stretch Armstrong.
High mental. Look
Like
they've been
that's
burned.
mate. Do you know what that is? Alcoholism.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
Aye.
Like that's swearing like that. That's got to be. It looks like his fucking watch is like a fucking zip tie to keep the fucking blood. But no, that's got to be. I mean, the Queen's an alcoholic.
He does look like a boozer.
The Queen's an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
She has champagne for breakfast every day. And
Get yourself to a meeting, hen. Get your cell phone back on side. There's a number there for Alcoholics
I was going to
Anonymous.
say, Elizabeth, the Samaritans are waiting. Imagine it. Hello.
I know.
Phoning the Samaritans. But no, I just thought it was like interesting that these people are, and all the people in Westminster, all the politicians, mate, they're all into fucking, they're normal people.
Mm-hmm.
They're into fucking dirty shite, man.
Yeah. You think they DM birds on Instagram asking for pictures of their feet?
Now, who does that?
I don't know.
Do you think they shit themselves at Nando's?
Wasn't me.
Like, fucking whatever cynic or whatever his fucking name is, this clown that's going to be a fucking the next prime minister. Do you think he's ever sharted at Nando's?
Probably.
Probably.
I found it quite funny over the weekend. I don't know if I'm oversharing here, but me, you, and your girlfriend we were talking and we had a laugh, and she said something along the lines of, "Oh, do you know what I find quite funny? Or do you know who I appreciate? Girls that sell pictures of their feet and they pay their bills." And the two of us were just sitting there in complete silence. You know, obviously, you don't listen to the podcast. So aye, there we go.
Aye, but mate, at that, you need to remember in that same conversation, it's like, oh, so clearly you don't listen to the podcast. And she was like, what? Why would I listen to Darren's podcast? Like, because I'm on it. And she was like, oh, are you?
Oh my God.
So it's like that level. That's the level we're at, mate. She's like surprised.
37 episodes deep. You've got people shouting for the crowd and all that. Yes, Paul.
Which makes that situation even more worrying for her mentality, where she thinks that people at the stand are shouting at me and going, oh, thumbs up for doing a good podcast, simply because I just take it. And they don't know who I am. It's like, but to be fair, she doesn't listen to this. She's thick as shit, mate.
No, that's all right. Just that she's in with Tom Green now. Tom Green, you for talking to me about my cousin. No, talking to my cousin about me. And your girlfriend's there now. Yours are all on the hit list.
And she's in the red group.
Aye.
With you.
Well, aye, that's all right. There's fucking, in Glasgow, everybody's in the red group. Let's keep going.
Keep the good times rolling.
We've went through the Fringe recommendations. I'm just quickly checking everything's covered here with this charity and the sponsors. I've got a funny story I could tell you. And then we can wrap it up with giving a shout out to the Live Lounge.
Yes.
So I'll explain to everybody what this is. Me and Paul and myself are going to shine a light on some Scottish talent. Doesn't even really have to be Scottish, but people that are gigging in the circuit in Scotland or in Britain. And I've got a clip of a musician that's called Tommy Maguire. He's a good lad. I've known him for a couple of years, and he sent us a clip of him playing a song. So at the end of the podcast, we're going to play that song. You can check him out on Facebook, Twitter, social media, and it's filmed at the Live Lounge Studios, and it's his new song. So you can check that out after I tell you this horrific story.
Okay.
No, it's not horrific, but you know how everybody's had a mad weight party when you're a wee guy?
Mm-hmm.
My pal used to stay in Bishopbriggs, big massive house in the deep end of Bishopbriggs, Snobsville, right?
Right.
And his man, his dad were away on holiday, and we were in his house, big Victorian house in Bishopbriggs. We're all mad weight for leckies, right? And I was like, right, what can I do that's funny to make him laugh?
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the carpet, out his fucking nut in a kettle or something, and I just decide to walk about his house, gone through his drawers and all that.
Right.
I don't know what I'm looking for, but his granda was back from a holiday and bought him a Bob Marley t-shirt
Right.
and like a green Bob Marley weed hat. So when I was like younger, I was like Bob Marley's face on a fucking green hat with like the weed symbol at the top of it.
His granda bought him that, right?
Aye.
Did his grandpa know what it?
No,
right,
his granda didn't know that he smoked
Right. Okay.
weed.
Uh-huh.
So when I was younger, I've told this many times, sometimes I get really big in weight. So then I was quite large for being a 17-year-old boy, I'd
Right.
say. My mate's one of the guys that's been 11 stone his whole life.
Right.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stick that outfit on that his granda bought him. So it was I would say a small t-shirt.
Right. Okay.
And I decided to stick I stick on the small t-shirt, right?
Right.
And obviously it doesn't even go past my belly button. It's like fucking up there. I'm like, right, that's funny. Stick the hat on. And I walk downstairs, right? And he starts greeting. He's like, ah, mate, get that off, mate. I was like, how? And he's like, get that off, man. Man, granda bought me that. That's pure shite. I was like, is it no funny? And he's like, no, it's pure sentimental value, man. Get that off. So he had a panic attack. He started greeting. I had to whip the t-shirt off that I couldn't even, like, you know that way you get stuck to your head? I'm like pulling it on my head that wouldn't leave my head. Pull it off. Pull the t-shirt off. It's all stretched and mangled to fuck. I'm standing there with my tits out, cuddling my mate as he's like having this weird drug-fueled, my granddad bought me that. I'm like, shh. Shh, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, then the next day we woke up and he's like, ah, mate, the t-shirt was shite. I don't even know why I was greeting like that. There you go.
Was his granddad dead?
No.
So what was he greeting about?
His granddad just went to Tenerife and bought him a t-shirt.
Brought my fucking Bob Marley t-shirt.
Aye. And I've stretched it to fuck. So that's my story.
With your belly.
Have you got any stories like that?
There was one time we were at a house party in Easterhouse. It wasn't Victorian. It was a fucking 70s tenement shithole. And we roached a 40. And it was the guys. It was a 40. The guys did that.
Oh no, man. You roached a 40 for a joint?
Mm-hmm. For multiple.
I can't believe you done that, man.
Mate, it wasn't me that did it. I didn't, but this guy, somebody that I worked with in McDonald's, it was a guy that I worked with in McDonald's. That guy that was at your gig, Gavin, who we were saying listens to the podcast, he was there. He was at that party. It was in Easterhouse. There's a guy called Jamie. We were at his house. And another guy called Jamie, we were like, there's no roach. And I'm like, mad bit, right? And he just came up and went there. And we're like, who's that in the photo? And he was like, it's all right, just, it's fine. So I remember like sort of like once the big fucking stramash started because of what happened, we were like, we assumed that he'd fucking said to you, but it turned out that the guy had went into a bedroom, opened a cupboard, took out a photo album, and just lifted a photo out of a photo album. Just a pure shit stirrer. And then here roached that, and we were sitting roaching, and it turned out it was a photo he did that.
Oh my God.
Or was it his dead uncle? Somebody that had died that was close to him, but...
Imagine if it was a pure, like, that was the last photo he ever took of him.
Aye, mate. Imagine.
When he was happy. And you smoked it for hash.
You're dying to laugh.
Aye.
That same night, a guy sat down at the table and we'd been using a can of Tennent's as an ashtray and he drank a can.
Oh.
That's a common one that happens at a house party.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was that the guy, we were all stood on that at this point, and the guy sat down and went, "You're a bunch of laughs." And one of my mates was like, "Fuck off then, mate." And he went, "I'll take your can." And we were just pure. Somebody was like, "Don't say it. Just hold back here." He took a big gulp and he had a big fucking black ring right around his lips. He didn't even acknowledge it, mate.
Wow.
He just gulped it down and just walked away.
That's crazy. That's like that story when I told you that boy that smoked hamster shite in my school. People were literally saying there's hamster shite in that rollie, mate. And he was like, so?
And what?
And what?
Just fronting it out.
Just full blown smoked a one skinner with hamster shite in it. That must have been a weird stone, nah? You're like, I feel the soul of his uncle inside me.
Oh, mate.
Aye, the 2 years are going to hell, aren't they?
Aye, mate, fucking right. Aye, that poor cunt.
Aye, that poor.
He was a good guy as well, man. He was a really nice guy. And he had a
Aye.
party. We took the piss. So super shite.
But you've made amends through talking about it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. I've exercised my demons today, Dom.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you.
I just shat my pants again.
Did you?
No. Just trying to break the tension of us getting cancelled. Shall we wrap it up?
Absolutely, mate.
Is there anything that you would like to cover? Is there any more charity nights that you're doing or charity podcasts, or is there any podcasts that you're working on that you would like to shine a light on?
If people want to go and look at the Gallus Palace at Tenants, I think the next one's in September. Well, I think they had one booked for August, but because of the fringe, fucking pointless. And they'll be doing another one in September. I think it'll be the last Saturday in September, potentially. But it's at Tenants Bar in Byers Road.
Brilliant.
Sold out both nights that they've had, so if you're going to do it, go and grab a ticket. I think they've got an Eventbrite link or whatever.
Amazing,
So,
mate.
aye, mate. That'd be good.
Amazing. Shall we wrap up and I'll give a shout out to the Live Lounge?
100%, mate.
Right, so the Live Lounge is a studio in Scotland that shine a light on up and coming talent or just good talent in general. And we've got a clip of Tommy Maguire. Tommy Maguire is awesome. So I hope you enjoy his new single. He's available on Spotify. Get him on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff and check him out. And Paul and myself will be back next week for the new episode. And thank you very much to the Zen Den as well for sponsoring us. And also, Troops, we've had quite a lot of positive reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you haven't done that yet, can you please chuck us a good review? Thank you very much, and see you next week.
There's no use in standing still, working hard just to pay the bills. 9 to 5 and getting drunk at the weekends, staying in a small town, sticking by the same friends. Should I take a chance? Should I play it safe? Get in the mood, get in the mood, get in the mood, get in the feeling and everything in between. Let me add it up for you, and I'll show you what I mean. Stuck between two worlds, mesmerized by the way it twirls. I had a taste of finer things, never knew what that could bring. While my mind's still traveling, wandering, considering, get in the mood, get in the mood, get in the feeling and everything in between. Let me add it up for you, and I'll show you what I mean. between. Let me add it up for you, and I'll show you what I mean. Get in the mood, get in the mood, get in the mood, get in the feeling, and everything in between. Let me add it up for you, and I'll show you what I mean. I said, let me add it up for you, and I'll show you what I mean. I can see, you can see, you can see, you can see that it's your dream. I can see, you can see, you can see, you can see that it's your dream. I can see, you can see, you can see, you can see that it's your dream. I can see, you can see, you can see, you can see that it's your dream.